Hello again folks and welcome back. We're doing one of these videos again, except today it's not a new line, but rather a new train. Yes, today is the second day of the 555 Metro Trains in operation, the brand new fleet of trains. Not the first day, because I missed it on its first day, and we're going to take a journey and talk about some of the new features and new things on the new train. But as we head out of Northumberland Park and towards Shymore, a brief bit of history. The Tyne Wear Metro's first section between Tynemouth and Haymarket opened in August 1980, and since then the exact same fleet of trains, the Class 599s, have been used for more than 40 years. They have been refurbished twice in the 1990s and in the early 2010s, but in the late 2010s and early 2020s their reliability started to be tested. Something definitely worth noting, the second refurbishment programme, which finished in 2015, merely a year later, plans were already being talked about for a new fleet of trains, which makes you wonder, did the refurbishment really offer anything viable in terms of foreseeing these trains for future decades? Yes, it might have improved their looks and the passenger experience in the temporary short term, but was it really worth it? Because their reliability, if it was bad in 2015, it was bad in 2024. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Nonetheless, in January 2020, Nexus selected Stadler as the company to build the new fleet of trains. With an initial proposal of 42, this was later extended to 46, which I believe was due to the Metro Flow project being born, which is basically the dualling of the line in South Tyneside, which is meant to, in the future, bring an every 10-minute frequency on the yellow line, which is currently running at an every 12-minute frequency. Construction of the trains began in 2021, with delivery in early 2023 for testing purposes. And around the same time, passengers got to see the completed interior of their new trains. However, this didn't come without backlash. People were very unhappy about the lack of seats on the new trains, despite the promise of improved reliability and the new features on board. However, there were two separate consultations in around 2017-2018 for what they wanted on the trains, and then in 2020 for how they wanted to look. So, at the same time, my point is, they did vote for it. This is what they wanted. But you know, people are always going to find pros and cons to most new trains. I personally really like them, but more on that in a little while. We might as well run through some of the features. Now, as you can see, they feature new screens which tell you the next stops, along with how busy each carriage is, and much more clearer next stop screens along with the announcements which have been made much louder. The seats have provided a bit of controversy. Some people like them, some people don't. Personally, I think they're really nice, and as you can see, there are two different colours. I believe one is signifying priority seating.
This is Whitley Bay.
And here's an example of the much clearer announcements.
The next station is Cullercoats.
Probably worth addressing the cons for a lot of enthusiasts. Although you have much bigger windows, you do no longer have the front seat, so you can no longer sit as a young child like many of us did and pretend you're driving the train. But oh well. It's more space for the drivers, it's better for them. Think about them.
This is Cullercoats.
We get some lovely scenery in Tynemouth here as we head round the coast towards St James, and it's worth knowing that this was the second day in passenger service of the new trains overall, with 555-021 doing the honours. However, as of the 27th of February, which is when I'm editing this, there have been 4 units sighted in passenger service, 002, 005, 20 and 21, with the potential for more to come soon, especially with more Metro cars going for scrap and things like that, although the Metro cars going for scrap are ones that have been out of service for some time. Green Line services weren't operated by the new trains until February, as it was always the plan for them to take slightly longer to get on Network Rail infrastructure. That's not my words, that's the words of the Nexus Managing Director. I would encourage you also to check out other channels who have made many videos on this before mine, but mine's coming out slightly later because of a bit of a break from YouTube. But we're back now, and we're exploring this new train. Obviously pre-recorded, but you get the hint. So the plan is that when we get up to St James, hopefully people will be either moving around or just it will be a lot quieter. So I'm hoping to have a little bit of a movement around, show you some of the features in more detail. As you can see, it is fairly quiet than it was before. You can look all the way down the train, of course, and that's another big plus when you get a terminus. You no longer have to get off the back carriage and get on the front one. If you're staying on, you can just walk right through, which would help especially at stations like South Hilton and South Shields, where it might be raining and you don't want to get off.
Shields. Change here for local bus services.
That's of course one of many of the new announcements. They are using a new system, which is slightly wrong because some of the announcements they sound different because they're using the wrong thing, but North Shield has been added to local bus services, which makes a lot of sense because we do have a bus station now, as opposed to when the announcements were revised about 10-12 years ago when they changed them from the female to the male. Although you still got 2 Metro cars with female announcements if you happen to want to hunt them down, but they just feel so much smoother. They're a really nice build quality. Right then folks, so we made it to Monument Station. Doors closing. We made it to Monument Station. Train got quite busy, so I didn't really do much in the way, but we're hoping the plan is just to get quickly off of St James, have a little walk around, show you some of the features, and then get back on and just see what happens. Hopefully get a couple of photos as well, because it's not due out for a little bit at St James, so we'll just see what happens. The time now is 13:35 and we're not due out until 13:47, so we've got like 12 minutes. So we're just pulling in now, we're just kind of playing the guessing game of which platform are we going to come into. It should be platform 1, but on a weekday they are notorious of using both. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, it looks to be platform 1. Yeah, it's platform 1. Right, so we're going to get out here. We're going to get a couple of photos of the train and the station, have a walk around and then get back on. Just see what happens. There's a lot less spotters on than I thought, I'll be honest, but they were all on yesterday with the first day, but I just swerved it. Oh, crumbs. Came to a halt there. Have I done it? Yep. And there we go, we made it. We made it up to St James. I've got 555021, and I've got to say it looks absolutely fantastic. There's a cab there. So we're going to just have a little walk around. So the doors close, they don't just stay open, which is a nice touch. And obviously if you're at a terminus station you don't want to get off, you no longer have to. So if we have a quick walk around, starting from up there, sort of. So here you've got lots of space for bikes and buggies with fold-down seats, and the straps are there. There's lots of these adverts about welcome on board your new metro. There are a number of these screens which show you how busy the train is, your next station, along with other details, but of course it's currently just showing the metro because we've just terminated. They've got different seat patterns, but they all look really nice. More space for wheelchairs there, of course, telling you there are 28 CCTV cameras in every train. If we continue to have a little walk down to the other end, you can see
middle seat.
It just looks absolutely fantastic. These new trains look really nice, and the doors don't, as I say, the doors don't stay open, which is a really nice touch. So we might get a photo when them lot have moved in a moment, because I don't want to get in the way of other spotters, but you can just see how nice these trains are. And let's get back on the train now because we don't want to miss it.
It smells too new.
Right, we're back on. It's a lot quieter now, so we're just going to make the most of it briefly while we've got the time. Just very briefly, because it will get busier from Monument. It's nice, isn't it? It's really nice.
Thomas, stand between the...
But these are something else. I'm really impressed. Joined by more enthusiasts. There's plenty of people on board. And it's just really nice. What do you think of it then?
So it's really good. This is my first time on it because I heard that I went to service yesterday and I was like, I've got to get on this.
Yeah.
So I didn't mention this before, but they do have USBs. Not at every seat, but at most.
The actual hammer from the actual door.
And there's plug sockets, isn't there? We just sit at the very front. Yeah, not bad. Right, folks, so I forgot to actually do a proper kind of ending, but we've done a few runs on this, and I'm going to do my little ending now. Thank you for joining us on this first proper day in service for the 555s. you can expect more videos on the channel of this going forwards. Whenever this goes out, it might be a Christmas present, but I don't know, because I have got my Northumberland line video to get out as well. Thanks for watching, folks. We've got a lot of spotters. We'll see you next time.